Howdy, this is your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Tristan, Wendt, coming from Advanced Chiropractic Relief in Houston, Texas. And today I'm joined with Donald. Donald's a new patient here in the office today. He's coming on in with some bilateral SI joint issues, primarily on that right-hand side though, but he's also dealing with some low back pain into those right-sided lumbars and paraspinal muscles, that quadratus lumborum area. He's getting some muscle tightness sensations down to the posterior aspect of that hamstring and also onto that right-hand side there of the thigh as well, correct?
Yeah.
He's been dealing with these issues for quite some time. You said there was a street football accident that you had back in the 2000s, early 2000s, where you had the initial sensations happen, and ever since then they've been kind of fluctuating back and forth. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how'd you find us here at Advanced Chiropractic Relief?
YouTube.
Yeah, it makes you a crack addict, huh? So Donald wanted to do a first video here on his very first adjustment and ring dinger in the Advanced Chiropractic Relief office. He's been to a few other chiropractors in the past, some that have provided some temporary relief, some that have had some pretty negative experiences, like that last one up in the other area. We won't mention where, but he's been to a chiropractor that tried to sell him the heel lifts, some lotions for his back. He said they tried to put just tinge units, some of those other very complimentary or subsequent things that some chiropractors do, not so much the chiropractic adjustments. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So he's coming on in here to get his first Johnson BioPhysics adjustment and ring dinger today. So we're going to document that and record it for you here so you can show all your family and friends when you get home, huh?
All right.
So Donald, we're going to start on the table here today, on the BioPhysics table. So I want to get a feel for your spine and pelvis. If you go face down there for me. Good. As you guys can probably tell in the video, Donald's another big gentleman like myself. So like Dr. Johnson always says, we're going to need some young man strength today to get him adjusted. So in this position here, Donald is short on the right by about 1/2 inch. And as I bring these legs up, it gets even and it gets longer right there when I get all the way into that flex position. And we already did all these tests, but Donald, does that tighten up in that low back and pelvis right there at the end range?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So again, remember what that feels like right there? We're going to test that here in just a second, all right? So those tests there with the positive Deerfield and the positive Knocklis, which means that pelvis is raising off the table, tells me that it confirms all the symptomatic things that he's feeling, that we do have joint dysfunction, primarily in that sacrum and right SI joint, but we're also dealing with lots of compression in that lumbar spine as well. Because he also reported that when he's in his truck, he can grab onto each armrest there and kind of push himself up, and it feels like a little bit of a stretching sensation in those SI joints, but you feel all that pain relief in that lumbar spine, huh? Mm-hmm. Yep, so he's gonna get a real ring dinger today, not just the armrest decompression. So again, we're gonna start on that right SI joint, and all you've gotta do is breathe and relax. So some of these might be a little bit tender here at first, Donald, but that's because they haven't been adjusted like this before, okay? And as you've seen in the videos, we're a little bit more aggressive than most chiropractors. That's because we're gonna make those functional changes to your spine and pelvis and teach you all the things that are gonna help you out along the way so you don't have to come back in and see me all that often. Good. Last one. Perfect. All right, so as I go through the lumbar here for this first time, these will probably be the most tender. That's because they've never been adjusted like this before. Have you take that same nice deep breath in through your nose for me. All the way out. Good. L4. L3. Good. L2. Good. L1. Perfect. Those are deeper in person, huh? Mm-hmm. All right, so next I'm going to go through these thoracics here. And I've already palpated and done all of our evaluations here. And I told Donald we got some concrete we're going to have to bust loose in these mid and upper thoracic spine. That's okay, I brought my jackhammer to work today. Big breath in for me. All the way out. Good, yes sir. I know you felt that one. You didn't get as much of the loud popping and clicking sensations out in the air around us here, but all that movement in that spine is exactly what I'm looking for. Another big one right here. Good. One more here, a little bit higher. Nice deep breath in. As you let that breath out, let those shoulders just kind of sink and relax around the table on either side there for me. Good. Let all that air out. Good. Like I said, we got some concrete to bust loose here in those thoracics, my friend. That's where the ring dinger table is going to help us out the most. Nice deep breath in. All the way out. Good, there we go. A little deeper than your last chiropractic experience, huh?
A whole lot deeper.
So I'll go one more right here and make sure we've got all those joints functioning. Nice big breath in for me. Good, and all the way out. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna check those leg lengths one more time here. So after all those adjustments there, he's now exactly even. When I bring these legs up, Donald, tell me if this feels any easier this time for you.
A whole lot easier. I don't feel
Doesn't tighten up at all, does it? Pretty cool stuff, isn't it? Alright, so next you'll feel that cervical spine popping up underneath you. Have you scoot down just a bit for me here. There we go. Alright, so this is gonna be where we work on that forward head posture that I showed you in the mirror earlier, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Last one here. All right, have you go face up for me, please, sir. And how would you compare already from that orthopedic neurological exam that we did earlier and the history that we took? You said a lot of those other chiropractors didn't even sit down and do a history with you, huh?
No, it's a whole lot better.
Yes, sir. So have you go completely face up for me. Flip you over like a pancake. There you go. I'm here behind you, don't worry. I'm not gonna let you fall. There we go. All right, and then I'm gonna have you scoot down just a touch for me, get those shoulders off the bed. So down towards me this way. Then we go about 2 or 3 inches this way. There you go. Perfect. All right, so next time I'm contacting the other side of those cheeks, work on getting this bowling ball head of yours back up over your shoulder. Like I talked about earlier, don't worry, I've got a bowling ball on top of my shoulders. Good. You go arms up to the side like a big old T. Just like this for me. Perfect. I want you to let those guys just hang and relax to either side there. Perfect. We got a little bit extra muscle than my last patient, so I'm gonna tighten the table up. I'll have to scoot down just a touch for me, about 2 more inches. Good, right there. All right, we're gonna start way up here on these AC joints. Our anterior ribs here next. Perfect. Last one. Awesome. Now maybe relax those hands on your tummy for me, because I'm going to start by decompressing you from the lower end first. So all I need you to focus on is letting this leg go kind of like a limp rag here for me. Good. Did you feel it up into the hip and low back on that side?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You're never going to leave this office without getting your leg pulled.
Hmm.
We like to have a little fun in here too, so I'll be cracking a bad joke every once in a while. Pun intended there. Nice. I know you felt that one up in the hip.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So next, I'm going to help you sit up here. So I'll have you swing those legs all the way around. Face the front of the room this way. Alright, so next I'm going to work on these glenohumeral joints, elbows, and wrists. There we go. This is how I get my workout all throughout the day. Lifting on big old arms like yours. Have you look up at the ceiling for me? There we go. Nice. So I'll get you between bucks on that one. All right, I got a few tips and tricks up my sleeve that Dr. Johnson left me with. Yes, sir. Crack addicts are gonna love you, Donald. You're sounding off in here. You probably couldn't run away fast enough from that other chiropractor that you went to, huh? As soon as you went in there, you said it was already some of the things that you had tried before with the heel lifts and the tinge units, massage guns.
Yeah, it was. I just figured it was a waste once he started talking and saying what he was gonna do and what he don't do. So,
And unfortunately, that's just an insurance game that a lot of chiropractors have to play these days, like we were talking about earlier. He can bill the coatings on all the tinge units, all the heat packs, the roller tables. All those things are how he can get reimbursed from insurance companies, but it's not necessarily the things that are gonna make those biomechanical and functional joint changes and neurological changes that you've been looking for. Like you said, it feels good while it's on there, but it's almost like a Band-Aid, similar to those medications. Just masking the symptoms, not addressing the cause of the symptoms. And don't worry, you're never gonna come into this office asking if you, or leaving, asking if you got adjusted or not. You're gonna get adjusted head to toe. One more time, have you look up at the ceiling for me? There we go. How you felt that one?
yeah, just trying to stay relaxed.
Yes, sir. You're doing a pretty good job of it. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna decompress your entire spine next, Donald. Maybe come over to this table here with me. Maybe go butt right here, head up this way. So this is one that's gonna take all those compressive stresses off all those facet joints and all those discs in your entire spine. So very similarly to like we were talking about earlier, when you lift yourself off with the armrest and you feel that little bit of traction in that lumbar spine, we're about to do that from your occiput all the way down to that lumbosacral junction. Perfect. So also this is that sleeping posture we were talking about earlier. This is that gold standard sleeping position that we recommend to all of our patients. But again, I'd be lying to you if I said you're gonna go home tonight and get 8 full hours in this position, because it's completely different from what your brain and body have adapted to. But we've got to start breaking down some of those old habits that are bringing you into the office here. That way you don't have to come back and see me all that often. Because again, I want to be a pain reliever for you today, but also want to be that resource that helps keep you away from my office, where you're not having to come back for those twice a week for 6 months or any of those other crazy plans that some chiropractors try to put you on. Have you come down towards me about a 1/2 inch? There we go. So these pins here are going to be really, really tight, and they need to be. There we go. Got the squeeze on you now, huh? All right. So again, those legs elevated just like that, parallel to the floor. I know you said you've been stacking up some pillows there, but again, it's gonna be a lot easier, especially with some legs that weigh a little heavier like mine and yours. Something sturdy like a laundry basket underneath there is gonna work better than those pillows. Have you lift that head for just a second for me? Good, and relax it all the way back. For this one, Donald, all I need you to focus on is keeping those teeth together. Yes, sir, you know the drill, huh? You've seen these videos once or twice. Nice deep breath in through that nose, and all the way out. Good, and I want you to put your hands a little bit higher onto your chest for me there. Good. Yes, sir, just like that.
Yeah.
That's what you've been looking for, huh?
Yes.
So that's what you're getting mini dingers on your truck and on the armrest. That was a full-blown home run right there, my friend. So you should have felt that
All the way down.
Perfect. Like I said, you're never gonna leave this office asking if you got adjusted or not. That's another thing that really made me fall in love with this practice and the techniques that Dr. Johnson provided for all of his patients, is that when I came into the office, I knew I was gonna get adjusted and feel better, but I wasn't gonna have somebody trying to push heel lifts or icy hot or certain ergonomic chair things, all kinds of different gimmicks to help bring more money to a chiropractic office. You're just gonna get pure old-fashioned chiropractic adjustments in here. And then we're gonna teach you the things to help yourself out outside the office. Yes, sir. I heard that one upstairs. Yeah, one more way down here on the left side. Perfect. All right, so welcome to Advanced Chiropractic Relief, my friend. Like I said, a little different than your other experiences, huh? You're spoiled after coming here, aren't you?
This is what I've been looking for.
Yes, sir. I can help you up here next time.
I gotta get up now.
Yeah, you were ready for taking a nap there, huh? That's the one thing I do, is as soon as Dr. Johnson adjusts me, I can basically go limp, even with the pins on either side. Just take a full-blown nap there.
Oh yeah.
So as you're standing up here next, you're gonna, one, feel taller, but you should feel lighter. You should feel like you can breathe deeper. And again, you should feel like you have more range of motion in that lumbar spine and that side joints on both sides too. So if you stand up with me here, we're gonna come in front of the mirror again. See how much we straightened you out today?
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Already a little different, huh?
Yeah.
And that's just after one adjustment. Pretty cool stuff, isn't it? So have you stand in front of this mirror with me one more time? I want you to close those eyes for me and bend the head all the way forwards and backwards again. Good. Now, does that pull all the way down to that lumbar spine like it did at the beginning of the treatment? Good. And got a lot more range of motion going into extension. That doesn't kink up in that lower cervical spine anymore, does it?
Nah, it's gone.
It's the answer you've been looking for all the time, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. Wish you could have found us a little bit sooner, I bet. And me too, because I wish I had found this office a lot sooner. I went through 3 or 4 chiropractors playing the carousel game. I went to orthopedics, I went to massage therapists, acupuncturists, athletic trainers. I mean, you name it, I tried it. A lot like other patients that come into this office. You're just looking for relief, not for gimmicks being sold to you. That's why these YouTube videos are so important. Help spread that word and spread the message of what we're doing here in the office. So I appreciate you doing that for the crack addicts today.
No problem.
Now you can go back and show your family and friends that your head's still attached and you're walking, talking, and breathing after your first ring dinger, huh? So this is a homework that I'm gonna give you here after the first visit. This is a 3-part exercise, because again, we wanna stay away from adapting to that forward flex position and that forward head posture that puts all that extra pressure and stress on our entire spine here. Mouth's getting dry on me. I'm gonna have you go shoulders up and all the way back for me. So this will be part 1 of that exercise. Good, kind of like you're trying to give me a hug back here. Part 2, I want you to take that chin straight back towards the wall. Good, so if you go back to neutral 1 time. So watch my chin here. It's not gonna go towards the ceiling yet. It's gonna go straight back towards that wall. Good, now look back towards that ceiling. Good, little tap here. Little tap here. Good, then relax those shoulders. And then one more time, just with your neck, I want you to go forwards and backwards like we did to start the visit today. Should feel like I put a little WD-40 in there, but you tell me. So Donald, you just got your first ring dinger and Johnson BioPhysics technique. How would you compare this to any of your other previous experiences?
There's no comparison.
A little different, huh?
There's no comparison.
Yeah, from start to finish. I mean, I sat you down, we'd probably been here for almost close to 45 minutes to an hour, huh? Taking a full history, orthopedic, neurological exams, start to finish. And before I even touched you, I gave you that report of findings and let you know what was going on and how we're gonna be addressing a lot of that in the office today. So, again, appreciate you shooting this video today. Anything else you'd like to share with the crack addicts there in YouTube land?
You gotta get here.
Thank you so much again for sharing your story, Donald. It's a pleasure working with you today, and maybe on those subsequent visits we can give them some updates, tell them how you've been feeling after that first visit, huh?
No problem.
Appreciate you, Donald.
Right.
So this is your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Tristan Wendt, coming to you from Advanced Chiropractic Relief in Houston, Texas. Thank you guys again for liking the channel, subscribing to the channel, and following along with our patients' journeys, just like Donald's here. So we'll see you guys soon.